the illusion of control, and the search for peace. Imagine standing in the middle of a raging storm, yet feeling untouched by the wind, unshaken by the thunder, and undisturbed by the chaos around you. This might sound like a fantasy, an unattainable dream reserved for monks, mystics, or those who have renounced the world. But what if I told you that this kind of unshakable peace is within your reach? What if the key to it lies not in changing the world, but in changing how you see it? For centuries, humanity has searched for peace in all the wrong places. We have been conditioned to believe that true peace comes from external achievements, wealth, recognition, control over our circumstances. Yet, despite attaining these things, we often find ourselves still restless, still anxious, still yearning for something more. Why? Because the real battle is not outside of us, it is within us. In this exploration, we will embark on a journey through philosophy, psychology, and personal transformation. We will dissect the illusions that keep us trapped in mental turmoil, uncover the mechanisms that govern our perception of reality, and reveal the true source of inner peace. Along the way, we will explore practical strategies, real-life stories, and philosophical insights to help you reclaim the serenity that has always been within you. Chapter 1. The Mind as a Prison and a Gateway to Freedom. Our thoughts shape our reality. Two people can experience the exact same event, yet have entirely different reactions to it. One person might see a challenge as an opportunity for growth, while another views it as an insurmountable obstacle. The difference is not in the event itself, but in the mind that perceives it. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Most of us operate on autopilot, governed by unconscious beliefs, emotional wounds, and mental patterns imprinted on us since childhood. We react rather than respond, allowing our fears, insecurities, and past experiences to dictate our present. Take, for example, a man named Thomas. He grew up in a household where failure was met with harsh criticism. As an adult, he developed an overwhelming fear of making mistakes. Every challenge at work became a source of extreme anxiety. He believed that if he failed, he would be worthless. But was this belief truly his? Or was it something imposed upon him? It wasn't until Thomas consciously examined his fears that he realized they were never his own to begin with. They were echoes of his past, not truths about his future. By detaching from these conditioned responses, he was able to reclaim control over his mind and emotions. Chapter 2. The Power of Perception. Reality as a Mirror. Ancient philosophies have long recognized that reality is not as solid as it seems. Stoicism, Buddhism, and even modern cognitive psychology emphasize that it is not external events that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. Consider the story of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. Despite facing wars, betrayals, and immense political pressure, he maintained an extraordinary sense of calm. His secret? He understood that suffering comes not from circumstances, but from how we choose to see them. His writings in Meditations repeatedly remind us that we have the power to decide whether an event harms us or strengthens us. Now, think about a modern-day scenario. Two employees receive critical feedback from their boss. One takes it personally, spirals into self-doubt, and becomes resentful. The other sees it as a chance to improve, refines their skills, and grows stronger. Same situation, different outcomes. The difference lies in perception. So ask yourself, how much of your suffering is caused by reality, and how much is caused by the story you tell yourself about it? Chapter 3. The Illusion of Control and the Art of Letting Go. Many people believe that if they could just control their environment, their relationships, and their future, they would finally have peace. But this is one of the greatest illusions of the human mind. The more we try to control everything, the more we suffer. A Buddhist parable tells the story of a man trying to cross a river. He builds a sturdy raft and successfully reaches the other side. However, instead of leaving the raft behind, he carries it on his back everywhere he goes, fearing that he might need it again. Over time, the raft becomes a burden rather than a tool. This is what we do with control. We hold on to past strategies, old beliefs, and unrealistic expectations, even when they no longer serve us. But true peace is found not in controlling life, but in trusting that we can handle whatever comes our way.
Chapter 4: Embracing Uncertainty, the Path to Real Freedom. One of the biggest sources of anxiety is fear of the unknown. We want guarantees, certainty, and predictable outcomes. But life doesn't work that way. The Stoics had a saying, "What disturbs men are not things, but the interpretations they place upon them." Fear of the unknown is not about the unknown itself, it is about the stories we tell ourselves about what might happen. A personal story illustrates this point. A woman named Sarah lost her job unexpectedly. At first, she was paralyzed by fear. She imagined worst-case scenarios, believing she would never recover. However, instead of resisting reality, she embraced uncertainty. She took time to explore her passions, started a business, and ultimately found a career path far more fulfilling than her previous job. The very thing she feared turned out to be a blessing in disguise. How often do we resist the unknown, only to later realize it led us to something greater? Chapter 5: The Role of Self-Dialogue, Your Mind is Your Ally or Enemy. Most people underestimate the power of their inner dialogue. If your mind constantly criticizes you, doubts you, and fills you with negativity, you will never have peace. But if you train your mind to become your greatest ally, everything changes. Consider athletes who use positive affirmations before a competition. They don't allow negative thoughts to take control. They condition their minds to believe in their strength. The same principle applies to daily life. What you repeatedly tell yourself becomes your reality. Try this: the next time you face a challenge, instead of thinking, "I can't do this," tell yourself, "I am learning. I am growing. I will find a way." The shift in language creates a shift in mindset, and that shift determines whether you suffer or thrive. Conclusion: the true test of peace. Peace is not found in a life free of conflict, hardship, or uncertainty. It is found in how we respond to those things. The greatest test of your inner peace is not how calm you feel when life is easy, but how steady you remain when everything falls apart. To achieve unshakable peace, you must question your mental conditioning. Shift your perception of reality. Let go of the illusion of control. Embrace uncertainty rather than fear it. Cultivate a supportive inner dialogue. No one can give you peace. No external achievement, relationship, or event will ever permanently grant it to you. Peace is something you build, moment by moment, choice by choice. And the good news? You can start now.